Running a small business means I wear lots of hats. When I put on my hiring hat, I can count on LinkedIn Hiring Pro to make it easy. LinkedIn Hiring Pro helps manage my hiring workflow, puts my job post in front of a unique network of professionals, and matches me with the best candidates for my business. I can also share my job with my network. No other job site lets me do that. No wonder most small businesses say they'd use LinkedIn Hiring Pro again. Hire right the first time. Post your job for free on LinkedIn today at linkedin.com/quality.
Morning decisions. How about a creamy mocha frappuccino drink? Or sweet vanilla? Smooth caramel maybe? Or a white chocolate mocha? Whichever you choose, delicious coffee awaits. Find Starbucks Frappuccino drinks wherever you buy your groceries.
The footballers at the World Cup aren't the only world champions in the USA this month. I'm John.
And I'm Michael, and we'll also get to see one of the LA 2028 Olympic venues in action. That is, despite it being 1,300 miles away from LA.
Coming up, we hear from the Olympic medalists, world champions, rising stars and returning ones.
Joe Clarke, Olympic gold and silver.
Hi, I'm Kimberly Woods.
I'm Adam Burgess.
I'm Bethan Forrow and I'm a Kayak Canoe Slalom athlete. I'm Mallory Franklin.
Hello, I'm Sam Lever. I'm a Canoe Slalom athlete.
And I'm Lois Lever and I'm also a Canoe Slalom athlete.
As Paddle UK send Britain's best paddlers to the Canoe Slalom World Championships.
This is Anything But Footy, the Olympic and Paralympic podcast, covering the games all the time, not once every 4 years.
And a special edition. The 2026 ICF Canoe Slalom World Championships is taking place in the Whitewater Center of Oklahoma City this month. Over 6 days, more than 400 elite athletes from 60 nations will be competing in canoe slalom, kayak slalom, and kayak cross, both team and individual events. Now, the River Sport Rapids, based in the Boathouse district of the landlocked Oklahoma, is also going to be the venue for the 2028 Olympic Games Canoe Slalom. Now, Paddle UK's elite senior team have already been out there doing some training, knowing that these World Championships are also the start of their qualification period for the LA Games in 2028. So it might be 2 years away, but it's happening this month. It all begins for some great British athletes.
And coming up, we'll hear from two mums on their return to the sport of canoe slalom and the support that they've received, but also the challenges they face. And the Levers, brother and sister, Sam and Lois, on their step up to the senior team and also their lack of green fingers.
It needed rescued. It was in an absolute state. Our garden's expensive. Those things really add up. Our mum loves the show, so she told us, apply.
But first, with a series of World Cups behind them ahead of these World Championships, John has been at the Lee Valley Centre, catching up with the Paris 2024 Olympic medalists Joe Clarke, Kimberly Woods and Adam Burgess.
We've been out there once already. It's good to see they're using pre-existing venues as well, actually. But it's cool. It's a really cool course. It's fast. It's super techy. Everyone is struggling with it. I've heard that from the international guys as well. I think when we went out there for the training camp, I had a really good mindset around that. I felt like I hadn't been pushed that hard technically in a long time, but I was there for it. I thought, I can really learn something here, push on my skills, and yeah, I'm excited.
Because you always like the challenge, don't you? You like the actual technical side of canoe slalom.
Yeah, absolutely. And, I know this lap here at Lee Valley so well. And actually...
Can you do it in your sleep?
Well, yeah, it's big and it's powerful, but it actually moves really slowly. And, I miss having a bit of speed on the water and getting out there. I had to find some new solutions because the water was so fast. But no, really got into it. Felt like I was handling it very well, so I'm excited.
And I'm told that it won't be the same course for the Olympics, so there's not an advantage at these World Championships.
I sense that the Olympic course will have a very similar feel, to be honest. So yeah, they've actually got two channels there, and we're using one. The games will be on the other. Yeah, I mean, I've seen it with the water off. It looks very similar. It's slightly wider, might slow the water down a little bit. But I sense that, we're getting a feel for what the Olympic course is going to be like.
Now, of course, you won your silver medal at Paris, and it was at a venue where rowing was as well, and it wasn't far away from Paris. Oklahoma will be very different LA-wise.
Yeah, absolutely. It's in some ways it's a shame, in some ways it's good. If I'm fortunate enough to go to the Olympics again, I'll be grateful for having the opportunities that I had in Paris, of of being there, experiencing the full Olympic experience, I guess, which obviously I didn't get in Tokyo either because of COVID. Yeah, it's going to be a shame to miss out on that. But at the same time, we actually stayed in a hotel away from the village. We stayed with rowing for Paris. We're early in the schedule, and I really liked that we could go there, keep things very normal, stay away from the circus that is the Olympic Games until the job was done. Then we could go and enjoy it. Obviously, my name's not on that plane ticket yet, anything like that. But looking ahead to LA, it'll probably be a case of be nice to go perform, win the gold medal, park the rest of the Olympic stuff until after, and then maybe it's a case of hopping on a flight to LA to go enjoy it afterwards. But we're not there yet, so it's too early to think about that stuff.
Absolutely, but it's the first step, the World Championships. These results start to matter.
Absolutely, yeah. So 3 races this year will start to form the Olympic qualification series, and then 6 more next year. We have S5 to count. I feel good about it. I'm coming off the back of 2 medals from 3 races, 2nd in the overall World Cup series at the moment. So, I'm coming into form. Bronze, then silver, and the next one's the world. So hopefully I'm saving the big one for the big day. I'm feeling really good. It feels a bit different to last year. Last year I had a lot of pace, but I think probably not having the full winter because I took that break after Paris. I think that probably caught up with me a little bit in the season.
I was going to ask, how difficult was it to get back on the water after the success of Paris?
I was itching to go, and I was excited for last year because I knew that we did add more to my locker for last season, and my best days last year were like the best days of my career for sure. The silver medal I won at the World Cup in Sao, that heats run in particular, just so dominant, and then winning the short slalom out in Prague last year as well, like about as close to a perfect run as I'll probably ever have in my career. So we knew that I had pace last year. I think I didn't realise until we got into this season, I think how much I missed that sort of November to Christmas period where I just do so much paddling that time of year, and it's meant that as we expect, there's always going to be some hiccups along the way, and I have some issues of equipment, small injuries, illness, and things like that. I don't feel like it's affected me, and I had the confidence to take the rest when I needed it because I banked so much work. We're coming into this season with a really strong foundation and just adding some sort of finishing touches now before we head out to Worlds.
And just before I let you go, I know you're into your coffee. So Oklahoma, what's it like for the coffee? Yeah, so we did have a training camp in Oklahoma already. I have scoped out the coffee scene. I have to say it was a lot better than I expected. In my head, American coffee, it's that like pot that's just like stewed all day. It's rough. But no, the specialty coffee scene is not bad there. We found one cafe in particular. And their roastery themselves were very good, but they were also importing beans from some of our favourite roasteries in Europe too. So, plenty to choose from. They'll probably be frequented a few times, I think, whilst we're there. Sounds like a home from home. Good luck. Thank you so much for talking to us. Cool. Thanks very much.
Hi, I'm Kimberly Woods, a canoe slalom athlete for Team GB.
World Championships to come. Firstly, how are you feeling?
Actually quite chilled about it. There's been a lot of curveballs in my life recently, so I'm just trying to take every day the same and just really enjoy the whole process. I'm sure I'll get excited when I've landed there in OKC.
Is everything okay?
Yeah, unfortunately my nan passed away. I had to go home during the Prague World Cup, which obviously wasn't the best preparations, and she would have killed me knowing that I'd messed that up, but I had to go home and say goodbye to her and racing, not knowing if I was going to see her again. And unfortunately she passed on the 7th of June, which is the last day of my race in Prague, and was really happy that I won another medal for her. It wasn't gold, it was bronze, but just really enjoyed that race, and she would have absolutely loved the fact that I did enjoy it, and just taking her with me now every day Because
sometimes things are more important than canoeing.
Exactly, and I think it's it's not nice to have something like that put things in perspective for you, and I think I've really got a good perspective on myself in my sport, especially since Paris, like going out there and winning medals, achieving my dream, that I can have really good perspective. Like, canoeing isn't everything, and like I've got nieces and nephews, and maybe one day I want to have a family too, and yeah, like just having that kind of thrown in the mix was sad, of course, and yeah, just wanna. And she was the reason why I got into paddling, so it's put everything in perspective, and I just kind of appreciate every moment now that I've got.
So Oklahoma, tell us about it, because it's the venue for LA 28.
Yeah, it's weird to think that now every race that we're going to be doing from now will count towards that LA selection, but that's in the future. Gonna think about the here and now, and yeah, it's a really cool event. It's a really cool venue, and the course itself is really hard. And for the games, it's going to be run on the other channel, so it's a little bit different. But they're going to put on a good show for us for the World Champs, and it'll just give us a little taste of what it could be like for the games.
What is it like for you guys? Because I know you've been out there already, kind of training, because you know you need to focus on these venues. Last year it was all in Australia. The year before it was all in Paris. I mean, time zone-wise, you must be all over the place.
We've got a really good team behind us, giving us some good advice, and thankfully I'm actually pretty good with jet lag. It's more actually when I come back from America to here, I'm not so good, but that's going to be after the event, so thankfully I don't need to worry about that. But yeah, a really good team around us to make sure we've got things in place, like a good hotel, and I always travel with my own pillow to make sure my neck doesn't get stiff and things like that. And yeah, we're pretty good at travelling now, and making sure we've got things in place.
Now obviously in Paris at the Olympics you won a couple of medals. I would say, looking at your performances since, you're still the person that does everything. So it's kayak cross, it's C1, it's K1.
Yeah, I love doing everything. Like, why wouldn't you? And I'm fortunate that I'm pretty good at everything, and yeah, but still have to work hard for it. I chose not to do the third World Cup this season because it's quite a lot physically, but also mentally as well, just to constantly be up and down and not really have a rest day either. Racing the Friday, Saturday and Sunday and then straight into training again on the Monday is quite a lot. So I chose quite sensibly not to do that third World Cup, and you're with the same people for 3 weeks constantly on the trot can also be a lot. So yeah, I made a good choice to come home, and also with that life Kerbal, it kind of made it way more sense. And yeah, doing everything, I really enjoy it, and it's always a new opportunity to go out there and race and kind of show off your skills a bit. And kayak cross individual as well is another medal and another opportunity to go after it, and I got my first one finally this year at a World Cup, so yeah, really hungry to get after it.
And also you had the team event in as well for World Championships. I mean, literally, are you on the water all the time?
Yeah, I mean, any opportunity I can get out there and race, I'd go and take it. If they did inflatable kayak racing, I'll be out there and taking it. And I've done rafting World Championships as well. Like, any opportunity to be out there in a boat or in the water is something I really take on. And still do it whilst I still can. Like, my body, I'm 30 years old now. I need to start slowing down a bit, but also don't feel like I need to at the same time, because I can still do it. I still go out there. But yeah, team events is a great way to start off the event, and you kind of come together and work together. I think it's probably one of the best events out there, really.
Well, we wish you all the best. Thanks so much for talking to us.
Thank you.
Joe Clarke, Olympic gold and silver from Rio and Paris Olympics. Canoe Slalom, K1 and Kayak Cross.
World champion 4 times. We're about to go into another World Championships. A World Cup gold at the weekend as well. Looking good?
I think things are heading in the right direction for sure. Got a bronze and a gold in the kind of kayak cross head-to-head, and I've had to deploy every tactic and technique under the sun, so showing that it's not just a one-trick pony of getting out ahead, but that's what I'll be going for at the World Champs, is to get ahead early doors and put nothing to chance.
Is it fair to say that kayak cross is really your main focus these days?
I was starting to think so, yes, but then I've actually medalled again in slalom this time round in World Cup 1. I finished 5th, but without the penalty in the final, which was very, very slight. I would have finished 2nd. And then in Prague, I had a penalty which cost me the win. So, I mean, it's hard to say which one's my main event right now. Hopefully we can continue on in both. Like in Paris, I was 5th and 2nd, and only a fraction off the medals in the slalom as well. So we'll see. Definitely focused on both right now, and if it gets close to the games and I'm competitive more in one, then I'll start to focus in on that.
Because the kayak cross you need different skills, really, and the competitive edge against other people.
Yeah, absolutely. It's you versus others, whereas a slalom is you versus the clock, so it's completely different. It requires a whole tactic list as long as your arm, and then obviously different techniques and certainly different attributes of power and strength compared to the slalom. So training for both is quite difficult, but I think 50-60% of the training will cross over. So if we have to narrow in, then I'll probably actually put on some more muscle mass and get a bit stronger in the gym and fitter and stuff like that, just for the pure power effort of kayak cross.
And kayak cross obviously came in before the Paris Olympics, and now you have kayak cross individual. Can you explain what the difference is?
So kayak cross individual's always been around. It's essentially the time trial. So we had the time trial in the Olympics. I've had it in the World Championships. I actually won the time trial in the Olympics, and I won it at the World Champs here in 23, and was always kind of normally top 3 in the time trial, which is never a medal event. It was just seeding for the rounds. They've now brought it in as a medal for the World Cups and the World Championships, and potentially in the future might be an Olympic event. Hopefully it will be, because again, it's one of those events that I'm very good at and could be another medal opportunity for not only myself but many athletes that will be competing for Great Britain, because we're all really fast.
And I suppose it kind of begs into the question about the Olympics that wants to expand but doesn't want more athletes, but actually it would allow you to win more medals.
Yeah, definitely. I'm always envious of those swimmers and other athletes that can compete in multiple events in the kind of the same discipline. So front crawl, relay, team, different distances and stuff like that. That's not really something we can do in slalom. We've always been kind of trying to push for half runs or quarters, or like breaking down the actual event into smaller chunks and have multiple medals. But I guess this is an option without having to change any of the calls. It's already kind of been done. We just need to get that Olympic medal from a different sport or from sprint.
And the World Championships this year also gives you an opportunity in a team event as well.
Yeah, that's also a great event, the team event, but that will require more athletes at the Olympics, unfortunately, because that's the 3 teammates. So myself, Sam Lever and Ben Haylett will be going at it. We got silver last year by an absolute tiny margin in the team run. So fingers crossed we can. We have taken Johnny out the team, unfortunately, and put Sam in. So bit of an unknown entity, but we are all 3 quick boats. We've all finalled at the World Cups across the board. So fingers crossed.
Talk to me about Oklahoma, because it's the venue for the LA 28 games as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly not my favourite venue right now, but the Olympic channel will actually be different than the channel we're racing the World Champs on. So there's two channels, left and right, racing the World Champs on the left, the Olympics on the right. So that'll be unknown entity again until it's made, but I love Oklahoma City. The kind of, that's a great place, great people, really nice vibe, and if you've ever seen the series Landman, it's very similar to that.
And do I get the impression that you struggle to get food other than the American type food that we all kind of know?
Yeah, absolutely. It's kind of very much like a steakhouse, kind of burgers and that kind of place. A lot of Mexicans around, so a lot of Mexican restaurants. So didn't eat the best on the training camp there, and certainly come back a few kilos heavier and had a lot of work to do. So when we go out to the Worlds, I'll be taking a whole cooking box out with me with pots, pans, knives, and doing some home cooking.
What's your hopes for the World Championships?
Well, let's just say let's go for a 5th world title, eh? Why not? Let's nail the colours to the mast and try and listen to that Union Jack and the national anthem. And then in the slalom was to make the final and try and challenge for a medal again.
Joe, thank you so much. We wish you all the best of luck.
Thank you. Cheers for having me.
So paddlers Joe Clarke, Kimberly Woods and Adam Burgess all speaking to John as they begin their campaign for qualification for the LA 2028 Olympic Games. This is Anything But Footy, the Olympic and Paralympic podcast. Now, you'll remember Paddle UK is the governing body of canoe slalom in the UK, and they had their best ever Olympics in Paris, with more medals being won than ever before. It was also a fantastic venue out next to the rowing in Paris. John spent a lot of days there. I got to spend, I think, 1 day there, which I thoroughly enjoyed. Now, it does build on a long period of sustained success for Paddle UK across Tokyo, Rio and London 2012. And London 2012, I mentioned that specifically because the Lee Valley Whitewater Centre, where John recorded those interviews in Hertfordshire, was also the venue back in 2012. And that is where John caught up with Tokyo silver medalist Mallory Franklin, along with her baby Maya, and Bethan Forrow, who's also back on the team after having her baby Rowan in 2023.
Motherhood took my career in a different pathway for a while, but it definitely has made me stronger, and I've come back in a much better place than I ever thought I could be.
Baby Rowan, how's he getting on?
He's 2.5 now, and we are in the thick of potty training, so we're in the depths. but it's going well. It's definitely a different side of training. A lot of patience, a lot of resilience, and I think that has definitely transferred into like my canoeing and like perspective on the water. Life is just different after you've had kids, and I genuinely thank him for any success that I have after him.
You talk about perspective, having other interests. I mean, having a child is not an interest, but you know what I mean. Having other interests off the water is important.
Yeah, 100%. I'm lucky I come from a very big family, and they've always supported me through sport, but they've also kept me in the real world at the same time. I think sometimes it's hard in sport to get so in a tunnel vision with delivery and performance and outcome, and you sometimes get dragged along with that train a little bit, and you want to learn to enjoy it on the way, and that is genuinely what my family have done for me, is make sure I was having fun at the same time. And Rowan has just enlarged that as well, with motherhood being the biggest perspective that I feel you could have, and realising that if I have a bad session or I have a bad race, I have this gorgeous little boy to come back to, and he doesn't care whether I've had a bad session or a bad race. Like, he is just happy. He's happy to see you laugh. He's happy to see you do a silly dance. It really does just put everything into a better vision.
And also, I mean, it sounds patronising, but I don't mean it that way, but having a child shouldn't be the end of a sporting career.
No, absolutely not. And I'd be silly to say, or I'd be lying to say, if I thought when I fell pregnant, because it was unintentional, I was scared what my career would look like for sure. I was 22. We were in the middle of a cycle. I wasn't sure what the next few years were going to hold for me, but I just tried to just make sure I enjoyed that motherhood side of things. And if it came to it after and I still really wanted to come back, which I did, even more so, the only thing it did was make me hungrier. And I think to anyone who's thinking about or worrying about having kids, I promise you it will be better for you than you could ever imagine.
You mentioned the importance of your family. Will they be looking after baby Rowan when you're at the World Championships, or does he come out with you? How does it work?
Yeah, so my partner has been so supportive over the last 3 weeks for the World Cups. He's had Rowan and worked around work and stuff. He goes to the childminder sometimes, so he does all the drop-offs, all the pickups. And my mum and my partner's mum, so my mother-in-law, have been amazing, so supportive of it, and yeah, I genuinely couldn't do it without them.
So what will happen at the World Championships?
So they will probably equally spread. Obviously I'm away for 3 weeks, so it's a long time.
How will you cope with that?
It is really hard being away from him. I feel like the first few days and the first week it takes me a while to settle, but thank God for FaceTime, because I genuinely don't know what I'd do if I couldn't speak to him.
Let's talk about you on the water. I'm right in saying that you were kind of C1 but now K1, or do you do a bit of everything?
So after I'd given birth, I kind of set myself what others had told me was an impossible challenge, to come back in all 3 categories, so the kayak cross, the canoe and the kayak. Canoe for the last 5 years has been a predominant focus in my career, my success. For the last 5 years I've only had the canoe on the team. Tried to keep up with the kayak, but then this winter really, with my new coach Mark, we really put our heads down and was we're going for it this year. We're doing all 3, and I put a hell of a lot of work into it. It has taken some serious hours, not only from me but from my coach as well. He has genuinely been the making for my kayak. And yeah, so came to selections, was obviously disappointed with the canoe, but genuinely so happy and so proud of the work that we'd done, that so many had said that I wasn't going to be able to do, that it was a relief that the hard work had paid off, and that the hours away from Rowan were worth the sacrifice, and that he will get to watch me race abroad and be there hopefully at some of the races internationally.
Well, we wish you all the best of luck. I know the family will be supporting you as well, and thanks so much for talking to us.
Thank you so much for having me.
I'm Mallory Franklin. That's my canoeing name, and when I retire I'll officially be Edwards, and
And the obvious question is, how are you? And who's this with us?
Yeah, no, I'm good. This is Maya, who's very good at being shy, but is not shy in the slightest. I'm all good. Just getting back. Well, I say just. I've been paddling for a while, but obviously selection and back onto the senior circuit now, which is quite cool, and it's nice to be able to do it and able to take her around with me. So she's, I think, done 3 continents already and a handful of countries. So she's doing quite well for 11 months old. But no, yeah, I'm all good. I'm enjoying paddling. Bit of teething, getting back into the racing and some different things going on in the background, but it's nice to be back on the start line and made a final, which is pretty cool to like still be in the mix. So yeah.
You say it's difficult. Probably not as difficult as motherhood, though, surely.
No, I mean they very much intertwine with each other now at the moment. I don't think I've slept more than 4 hours in a straight stint in the last about 10 months. So it's definitely intertwined. They just have different challenges. Paddling will always, and the challenge of trying to put it all out there in one moment will always be really hard, whereas motherhood tends to be you can sort it out later. If you do something wrong, you can generally undo it sooner or later.
And the plan was always to come back?
Yeah, for sure always. I think one, there's ability for people to do it now, I guess. UK Sport are excellent in their policy in I guess it's maternity pay, but you keep your pay whilst you're pregnant for a period to come back. So it really opens the door for it. And I think I always knew I wanted to, and I really struggled the back end, through Paris and through the back end of that year. And I was really struggling with the semi-decision of, I didn't feel like I could carry on without prioritising trying this and trying to, have her, but have a kid. And kind of knew that I needed that in my life, and I wasn't really wanting to carry on putting that on pause. So I always knew I wanted to come back, or at least try and come back. I didn't know if I'd want to after I had her, but I always knew I wanted to try when I was pregnant and everything, and I stayed training that whole time. But no, it's been really good. I've really enjoyed being able to show her the different countries. She doesn't obviously care that much at the moment, but she will, and I've been collecting magnets so far for everywhere she's been, so that's quite cute. But yeah, no, it's just fun, and I want her to grow up in this environment. I want her to grow up around paddling. I didn't quite as young as her, obviously, but I've been involved in my whole life, and I think it's such a amazing sport, and it's such a good community to be around, and I really want her to be able to experience that and experience sport and everything it can give you.
Because we haven't really caught up since Paris, and Paris was tough for many, many reasons.
Yeah, it was, and it feels so long ago now, and I think...
Well, especially with Maya.
Yeah, a lot's happened, but I think it's just... I think obviously there was a lot that went on before, just before and everything, and I think that there was a lot going on with me and my coaching and everything, and there was just a lot, and it was a really tough year, and I kind of took a break, and then I've had a change in coach, which is relatively controversial because now my husband coaches me, but I think I just needed someone that I knew that I could have those conversations with, and knew that had that drive in the background. And I've really enjoyed my pregnancy and being able to initially obviously I was still doing technical work, and then kind of just being able to go back to playing on the water, because the wider goal was just staying fit rather than anything crazy, and then being able to come back in and building those blocks back up, and really doing some stuff on the flat and trying to pull apart and trying to come back stronger. And it's almost working, maybe, if I can get some other things sorted out in the background, but there's some real signs that there's really good stuff going on, and it's really exciting.
So the World Championships, what's success?
The ideal would be to be back in the final, but building on my World Cup final that I just got, and try and make the final again, and really try. For me, I think it's about pushing and showing that I have the pace to medal. I think it'd be nice to be in the realms of medaling, but there's some postpartum complications going on that are kind of impacting a little bit my ability to deal with the intensity of race day, and so I'm kind of aware that's going to take a little while to kind of iron out, and started some medication and stuff to try and help. So I hope the Worlds is quite soon, given all of that, but I think being in the mix and showing that I'm capable and just trying to do good runs, and I think sitting on the start line in Prague was a very weird experience. I think probably impacted by the medical side, but I was very much just I just want to hug Maya again, and I'm this is not going to work if this is I've lost that motivation. But actually I think I just needed that first race and that first bit, and then in Augsburg I was no, it's fine, and she's fine with the many different variations of our family that come and look after her for me. But I'm really driven to try and go out and get that medal at the Worlds, but who knows what's going to be possible, but we'll build through the year. And like, although the back end of this year is really important, the world's obviously really important, like leading into next year is more important, and prioritising trying to be in the best state for next year is the main point. So we'll see.
Well, she's been remarkable, as you have throughout your whole career. We wish you well. Thank you so much for talking to us.
Thank you very much.
This is Anything But Footy, the Olympic and Paralympic podcast. We're looking ahead to LA with the first qualification systems getting underway for the sport of canoe slalom at the World Championships, which take place this summer in Oklahoma City. Now, Sam and Lois Lever are Scottish siblings and had their best season so far in the under-23 and senior competitions last year. And Sam recently won the men's under-23 Kayak World Championships in Poland. And John has been speaking to both of them at Lee Valley, which is just round the corner from the house they share as well.
We've been paddling together since we were 2. Our parents had us in double boats, so I was in with my dad. Lois is in the double boat with my mum. I would say we're used to it. It kind of just feels like one of those things that just is a thing rather than something that you think about, if that makes sense.
Yeah, but you don't get sick of each other.
No, I mean, we actually live with each other, so we definitely get a bit sick. I would say, there's sometimes. When we go away on trips, I think we actually have a break. We see less of each other than we do probably at home, so, it's quite a nice little respite.
So tell us about the World Championships. Firstly, what you will be doing, and then what you'll be doing, and then we'll talk a bit more.
It will be my first World Championships in slalom, my second in cross, my first time at a senior level doing both boats. Of course, I've done it at a under-23 level quite a few times now, so I'm kind of used to that championship feeling, but yeah, it's my first slalom World Championships, but it doesn't really feel like a new thing, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I'm racing both Canoe Slalom and Kayak Cross. It's my second World Championships. We were out in Australia last year, so it feels, I guess kind of fun to be out in another continent, out in America. It was the first time we went this year, so it's exciting to race there.
Now, before we do these interviews, we often get sent information about you guys, and for both of you it said that 2025 was the most successful year of your careers. So Lois, how do you feel about that, and is it a building block for what's to come?
Yeah, I think going into last year, I didn't really have any expectations of myself, and it felt quite easy to go out there and give it everything once I was in the final. And I think this year it's maybe not been quite as good a start to the year, and definitely feel like I'm maybe building in a little bit more, but trying to come back to that feeling that I had last year, and that freedom to race as if it didn't matter, and just to be happy with being there at the race and competing and enjoying the sport.
Does it feel more pressure because you've been successful, that you think, oh well, I need to do what I did last year?
I think there's two sides to the coin. In some ways, I feel like I need to live up to that. But in other ways, I feel like I've already proved myself. There's nothing that I need to show now. I've done it once, I can do it again. So I think, depending on the day, I have a bit of a different outlook, and I'm really trying to sway towards that second one, and be in that mindset.
Yeah, a lot of athletes, Sam, say to us, you've got to trust the process. This is what you guys train for, that when you're then in the race, you do what you always do.
Yeah. You honestly, you just have to find a flow feeling. It's a really hard balance to have so many ideas and thoughts and things you maybe want to do and achieve in a race, little technical things, doubt, all that stuff. You have to somehow simplify it into something you can use, and a plan or a strategy in the race that's usable for yourself. So I think the best races are ones where you just go from key point to key point to key point to key point, and all of a sudden 90 seconds has passed and you're like, whoa, I'm done, and it was a really good performance. But that has to be produced with loads of planning, loads of thought, and a real good intent towards it.
I suppose it's quite convenient that you both do the same sport, because your family can come and watch you.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Mum and Dad definitely enjoy coming out to the races, and they're coming to Oklahoma this year. And then to Ivrea for the European Champs at the end of the year. It's their favourite venue, it's their favourite place to go. And then they make a bit of a holiday out of it as well. So I think they're going to New Orleans or something after Oklahoma. So
New Orleans,
I think so, yeah. So they definitely enjoy, a good excuse for them to get out and see the world and have a holiday, basically.
New Orleans? What?
Have you not been invited?
Honestly, no, I haven't been invited. Oh man, I didn't know about that. But I've got a little bit of holiday time after Oklahoma as well. That's tough. I definitely thought they were going to Houston, Texas. Houston, Texas would be so cool. But yeah, I think my parents are excited that it gets to go to another continent. Last year they were in Australia. This year they're going to be in Oklahoma. I think they want us to really keep going because they're really ticking off all these cool destinations for themselves here. But it's great to have them along to support. Yeah, it's good.
And you also mentioned right at the start that you share a house together.
Yeah.
Your back garden has been done up. Tell us about that.
Yeah, we applied for a garden rescue on the BBC last April, like April 2025. We never heard anything.
Because you just wanted your garden done.
Yeah, basically. Well, it needed rescued. It was in an absolute state. So yeah, it was kind of embarrassing to look out on. And a garden's expensive. Those things really add up. And my mum loves the show. Our mum loves the show, so she told us apply. So eventually I just put in this big application form, and once I got into it, I really got into it. I put quite a lot of effort in actually, and then we didn't hear anything for ages. And then about probably like 8 months afterwards, around the Worlds in Australia time actually, last October, just got this email, and it just said, hey, we really like your story, like can we hear a little bit more about you? So I got on a phone call and we had some conversations, went through a few more loops, and then February time they said, yep, you're on the show, here's the contract, and we're going to be filming in May. And so they came and filmed. It was kind of like a fever dream because they did it in 3 days, so it didn't really feel like it happened. Like just 3 days in a normal week. They came in, garden completely fixed, and now when you go outside it's this magical new space. It's cool.
Yeah, the next day when we woke up it was like, is this still here? Like it's actually a thing. It was like really exciting, and like it's made a big difference, you know, like being able to go home and relax and recover after training and like actually have somewhere nice to like sit and socialize. It's like, yeah, it's been epic.
Your mum must be so proud that she gets to go to New Orleans after the World Canoe Slalom Championships, and you've been on garden rescue.
I know, although she's not even come to see the garden yet, so she's too busy off holidaying in all these nice canoeing places. But you know, she was absolutely buzzing. Gran too, actually. Gran is a big gardener, so yeah, she was really excited by it.
And she got a personal message from Gavin as well. Sorry. So she was pretty excited about that too.
Well, we wish you all the best of luck in the World Championships. Thank you so much for talking to us.
Thank you.
So Sam and Lois speaking to John, hoping to see that episode of Garden Rescue at some point in the next 2 years before LA, some kind of celebrity gardening program. Let's write that down for post the games and get Sam and Lois on. Official training at the Riverside Rapids Whitewater Center in Oklahoma is underway this week. And you're looking forward to being in Oklahoma, John, and setting up Camp 1800 miles away?
I know, it's so far away. I think there's softball taking place out there as well for the LA games. So it's not quite the same venue as you say with Paris, where you had the rowing and in the morning and you could literally walk over the hill to the canoe slalom in the afternoon. And I think, as you heard there in some of the interviews, I think it is going to be a challenge to make sure that the coverage, especially after the success that we had in Paris, that we get the coverage and the guys get the recognition they deserve in LA. But they're all looking really strong, and as you heard there from Sam and Lois, always the next generation coming through as well.
And you love a little trip out to Lee Valley. Love it. It's got to be one of your favourite London 2012 venues.
Look, in terms of legacy, it is an outstanding venue, and thousands of people go there just to go for walks. It's not as though you have to go either whitewater rafting or canoe slalom, but when I was there, you probably heard it in the background, there were kids from school there going canoeing, there were hikers who turned up for coffee, and it's just a great venue. And for anyone who says the Olympics, well, what did it ever do for me, just go there and have a look.
And also it's on your doorstep, which for me, fingers crossed, for North of England 2044 will be the Darlington Arena. Anyway, the opening ceremony takes place on Saturday, the 18th of July, and the kayak cross individual kicks off the events. The Olympic qualification and the medal opportunities begin on Monday, July the 20th. And we always say it, there's just another Olympics. It's not far away. It's just around the corner. And good luck to everyone at Paddle UK for the coming weeks. Great to have this special edition of the podcast and catch up with some of our friends and learn about some of those new paddlers coming through the ranks as well. This is Anything But Footy, the Olympic and Paralympics podcast, looking ahead to LA 2028.
Welcome to a new era of baseball's great spectacle. The T-Mobile Home Run Derby, live on Netflix. The biggest sluggers in baseball put their talents to the test on All-Star Weekend. Raw power meets star power. Big swagger meets bigger slams. And you don't swing to make contact. You swing to make history. Watch the T-Mobile Home Run Derby live on Netflix tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific.